The SportLife show is on the air of the N1 Global TV channel. Alexandra Abramova is here with you. Hello. On March 20th in St. Petersburg, the next 28 Gorilla MMA Series Time of New Heroes event was held. He has given us many bright fights, but we will right away begin with the main event of the evening, a title fight of Alexei Lipunov. This was the second title fight for the fighter leading the winning series in our events. At stake is the right of Lipunov to take the belt of the winner, but to do so he had to pass a series exam to defeat a fighter who is very motivated to prevent a candidate from taking his chance. For some people it may seem that for Tahir Abdullayev, who was an opponent of Lipunov, it is an ordinary fight. But it is clearly not. Any opponent of the contender will want to prove that he is not just a formal rival who is destined to fall prey to the belt contender. The fight between Alexei Lipunov and Tahir Abdullayev will clearly be among the brightest fights of the 2021 year in the Gorilla MMA series. The first round was marked by an active exchange of blows. Here again the advantage was rather on Lipunov's side. In the second round, the fighter moved to the parterre. Here Alexei must have felt more confident than his opponent, but during the change of blows, Lipunov gets a strong disaction. In the third round, the competition went all out. It was clear that both were tired. But Tahir Abdullayev looked exhausted, and given the visual advantage of Lipunov was quite obvious, he had to simply survive the round, and the judges will surely unanimously give him the victory. But Lipunov took a chance to try to finish the fight early in the parterre as he lacks and knows how to do so. And he got caught in the chokehold that Abdullayev finally managed to find the rest of his strength to do. So Alexei Lipunov did not get the belt of the winner, earned his first defeat in the Gorilla MMA Series events, and he will to start from scratch to start his winning series. And we congratulate Tahir Abdullayev on this bright and bold victory. And we state the fact that the winner's belt goes to the Virtual Museum of Gorilla MMA Series, where the first belt with 3 months ago Sergey Maslow failed to win is. Sergey Maslow appeared in this evening in Octagon just earlier in the course of the Gorilla MMA Series-28 Time of New Heroes event. This was his first fight since losing to Ikazuran in the title fight in November of last year. Sergey needed over 1 minute to defeat Bilek Aliyev. The fate of the fight was decided by knockout, which ended the short-running fight. After the fight was won, the winner was equally brief. Everything happened just the way it turned out. He felt, it'll be like this for everyone. So, we saw a highly motivated Sergey Maslow declaring himself ready to win, and these fights are clearly the treasures of the series. Let's just say that even 2 bright fights involving Alexei Lipunov and Sergey Maslow would have been enough to say that that event was a success. This is exactly the opinion of John Batlin, our expert commenting Gorilla MMA Series events for English-speaking audience.
Another great event for Gorilla MMA Series. This was Gorilla MMA Series-28. Some fantastic fights. Sergey Maslow showed again that he is a superstar of the MMA series. And then in that main event, Tank Abdullayev took some really heavy punishment against Alexei Lipunov. Lipunov came out really wanting to prove something, stood up with Tank, did some very heavy strikes, looked really good, but he could not take the pressure. After that cut, he was forced to go in for the takedown, and Abdullayev got the choke, and the fight was over with a guillotine. Excellent event again.
In addition to Sergey Maslow's victorious fight, I would like to draw attention to another fight which ended in knockout punches. The fight between Denis and Danilo Vaganov was expected with particular interest. Formerly, Musharin had a good series of 5 wins in the last 5 rounds, but he hasn't competed in our events for a long time. Vaganov, on the contrary, just got out a string of defeats. He has spent 3 fights in Gorilla MMA Series by now. He lost in the first 2, but he knocked out Muslim Durabayev in the last fight in 25 seconds. To be honest, the competition didn't work. Vaganov just beat up his opponent. He did not give Musharin a chance by inflicting a continuous stream of blows on him. The beating at the standing and the parterre lasted for almost 4 minutes, and let's be clear, the referee could have stopped the fight earlier.
Мы готовились работать стойки, но знали, что, скорее всего, будут проходить ноги.
We were preparing to work in the standing, but we knew that our opponent will most likely act through legs. He had many victories with submissions, prepared to counterattack, and it's no secret to everyone that I kneel a lot. Clinch is good. It's not our fault, but the other coaching stuff. So we defeated and won.
Поэтому подразбили, законтрили, и все, победа.
If Danilo Vaganov's fight with Denis Musharin did not succeed in intrigue, the common fight of the evening, in which Ilmar Gasanov and Dmitry Tibekin met, kept everyone energized 3 full rounds. This comes down to the judge's decision. Tibekin, however, is not accustomed to long fights. Because of his 18 fights held so far, in 12 cases, judges named him the winner. And this full fight became the 13th fight in the career of Dmitry Tibekin. At the beginning of the fight, Tibekin's blows seemed to shake Gasanov, but Ilmar stood up and came to his senses and was clearly more active than Dmitry in the course of the first 2 rounds. In the 3rd round, the fighters decided to have a conversation. Here, thanks to the bigger body mass and experience, the advantage was on Tibekin's side, but it was not enough for him to win. In a unanimous decision, the judge gave the victory to Ilmar Gasanov.
К этому бою мы с моим тренером.
For this fight, my coach and I have come a very good way, very good training. We're prepared for fight. I tried to fight, but I didn't have enough physics. But it's okay, we can do that too. First of all, I want to thank so much to my coach, and of course I want to thank to the organizer of this event who gave me this chance to fight, and I have shown myself here in the main fight. Thank you everyone who was cheering for me, who worried and supported.
Спасибо всем, кто болел, переживал, поддерживал.
Now let's talk about the fighters who have all their professional fights in the Gorilla MMA Series events. And first of all, we will pay attention to Bhaktavar Yunusov and Maksujon Kadyrov.
Бхактавара Юнусова и Максуджона Кадирова.
Bhaktavar and Maksujon approached the Gorilla MMA Series-28 Time of New Heroes event with 3 victories in 3 fights. They're one of the most successful debutants we've ever had. But how different the fightings went for them on March 20th. Bhaktavar Yunusov totally dominated the fight against Double D Kimanov. Kimanov, like Yunusov, approached the fight with 3 victories and 3 fights. But there was nothing Double D could do against Bhaktavar. As a result, the referee halted the fight in the middle of the 3rd round, fixing Yunusov's victory with a technical knockout. Bhaktavar's 4th career win with 0 losses. But Maksujon Kadyrov in turn failed to save 0 in the field of defeat. He was opposed by Azizbekul Debek Uğurlu, who won many victories over Alexander Lunov in January of this year at a 24th series event in Ufa. The fight of Kadyrov against Kildebek Uğurlu was extremely intense and exhausting. However, Kadyrov's fight against Kildebek Uğurlu proved to be very difficult. At the end of the allotted 15 minutes, the fighters, being exhausted, simply collapsed on the canvas. 3 rounds of continuous beatings in which the advantage shifted from one to the other. The 3rd round proved decisive. At the beginning of the final 5 minutes, Kildebek's punch shook Maksujon. For a while, it seemed as if Kadyrov was fighting back, not knowing what he was doing. But in the end, Maksujon managed to recover and finish the fight. Already exhausted, he listened to the verdict of judges, and there was the victory of Azizbek Kildebek Uğurlu by unanimous decision of the judges. The results of all fights of the Gorilla MMA Series-28 Time of New Heroes event you see on your screens. Let us celebrate the spotlight submission performed by Said Muhammad Kabulov. It took him 10 seconds to strangle the debutant Vladislav Butkevich. The first fight of the evening, in which the 2 debutants met, also ended with a choking reception. Here, Murad Muhammadiev needed a minute to defeat Hasamet Ramazanov, and also with a choking reception of Ruskidin Asarov defeated Artem Manushev. In order to determine the winner of the fight where Victor Nazar and Feridun Jurayev met, it was necessary to wait for the decision of the judges. And the judges gave the victory to the more experienced Victor Nazar, who dominated almost the entire fight.
А уже 3 апреля
And as early as April 3rd, we are looking forward to another 29th Gorilla MMA series. There will be some surprises about them in the next SportLife show. That's all for today. It was SportLife show and me, Alexandra Abramova. See you on TV as usual next Thursday.